we go. All right. So, referring to my notes, everyone's made it to their fourth week because we had Edmund do the cop training, which he completed. Gotta get a handout for that, but you're gonna be introduced to your new squad mate this week. Um, Cyric went to the Hammer District and found the Silver Church. Who? Deimos. Deimos. Or I got you. Falcone on Wednesday got bought himself a general shop. Do you remember the name of it? Yep, yep, yep. That's perfect. That's a good way to remember it. I like your note. Lance third week handled the Squad Zero case, the case of the wailing Marcella. Yep. And that went pretty particularly interesting since Lance had at the end of his case figured out how to use the ley line in a specific ley line fighting style in a way that can manipulate with spirits, apparently. Lance, that's Juniper holds her head. I Why do we bother with you sometimes? Uh, so we're gonna figure out what Edmund, Cyric, and Lance want to do for their fourth week because Falcone is just fucking around in East Bay, and I have my notes saying fuck around and find out. Yes, yes, it takes a little time to get people interested enough to want to kill you, especially since they can visually see that you look different. So let's start with Cyric for today, and then we're gonna bounce to Falcone, then bounce to Lance, and then Edmund. Cyric, last we left you off, you were at the Silver Church. Did you want to continue that? Okay. Okay. So, well, they would so in this large building that's on the outside looks really run down. On the inside, it's church. It is a pseudo style church suited for the silver. There are some dormitories that lead in the bottom areas of the church, whilst the main floor and the upper floors have been kind of removed just to make space for the large empty area that needs for the hanging ceiling of the church. So you were invited to live in the dormitory area as long as you want to stay and learn silver magic. So you stayed for up into the fourth week that we're currently reviewing Cyric, which is what day? Oh, Yeah, all of them are available. So Tuesday. Okay. So on Tuesday, you wake up in the dormitory. Your life had been here has been pretty understandably, boring. There's not much to do in the underground dormitory of a silver church. You find that the monks here that are dedicated to silver are kind of meticulous in their studies and are not very social people. They don't seem to like talk to amongst even each other too often about things. The rare information that you can hear in terms of a conversation seem to be idleness, like "Hi, how are you? I'm doing well. I hope you're doing so well the same. Have you learned anything new lately? No, I have not. Have you heard the news? No, I have not. Okay, goodbye." That's how they kind of talk in the Silver. Very oblivion NPC. So there hasn't been many of the scholars of note around you. The only real people of note that are of students have been just Raynor and another student named Jana. That's Jaina. Yep, Jaina. And she herself is just another journeyman of silver as well. She's a practitioner who, as far as you can gather, she's here to help heal Spiral City, but that's all you know. They haven't given you formal classes because in this church you kind of look for mentorship and you are given space within the church to practice the spells of silver. There are plenty of dilapidation all around the church to be used in terms of practice to point at silver magic, or spaces dedicated for people to have the room and area to cast wider spells without harm. So while you're in this dormitory, what would Cyrus like to do? It is the morning, as far as you can tell. Yeah, yeah, no worries. Sorry, just 1 second. Cyric, you decide to look for the scholar Deimos. No, not scholar, the journeyman Deimos. No, wait, you're looking for Deimos, the Grand Master? Oh, yeah, no, so you make your way to that. So there was the church, and then there's that. They have this like narrow path that leads to an impossible space where that platform that leads up to a large cube that has the gazebo on top. That whole area is locked off specifically. It's sort of kept away from the general populace, and you're not allowed to enter unless Deimos summons you himself. You can ask the other companions, who would you like to talk to? You wander around the Silver Chapel looking for Raynor. You will eventually find Raynor sitting in one of the open spaces of the library. He has several tables kind of pulled close, and he seems to be running a small seminar. You sit and listen just for a little while as you see that you listen in and hear Raynor seems to be in the climax of his explanation. Silver magic, in its practical application, of course, is regeneration, which is Raynor's point. But when you apply the silver magic into weaponry and gadgets, we're able to enhance their properties with silver, turning them into either a more fine weapon against specific evil forces, or re-enhancing our equipment to have better odds to help us on the field. Remember that the silver is more versatile than you can imagine, and that our imaginations tend to be the limiting factor for our silver. All right, class. Seminar is done, and Raynor kind of claps his hands and leads the group of 15 acolytes to wander about. Raynor approaches you, Cyric. Morning, Cyric. How can I help you today? Hmm? He blinks a bit. No, I'm sorry. I tend to spend most of my time focused here in the church chapel. I don't leave at all. And we don't have the spiral net here, so most of us, if not any of us, have any connection or interest in the outer world. I'm sorry. The world nearly ended? What do you mean? And you explained the series of events that led to the Silver End. Raynor stares in disbelief. So, this Lance fellow is all to blame. No, 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 no. No, sorry, I was just joking. But no, Raynor listens in carefully and goes, I see. So it seems like the city folk have gathered their hands on the primordial artifact. But that's strange. Raynor looks confused. I would think such powerful artifacts would have been in the spiral itself. I wonder how they got out of the spiral. As for the silver end, it is an apocalyptic event described by the silver. We don't we are a specific sect of silver. We don't follow every tradition that follows other sects. You might be more familiar with Order of, no, sorry, what's it called? Organization, yeah, Organization of Order, or OO. They tend to handle the more apocalyptic issues and situations. Our sect of the Silver, Raynor explains, is more like cleansing, rejuvenation. We remove the impurities that Spiral City may contain. Angels, demons, leprechauns. Though I never met a leprechaun. But we're supposed to remove the taint. In fact, we found such taint. Come with me. Let me show you. And, Sarek, you are led by Raynor to a left wing of the chapel. It is a sort of. It is a. So, as a reminder, the chapel is built into this apartment complex, but they've removed many of the floors to make the chapel center. They didn't remove all the floors and every portion of the building, though. So, on the left wing of the church, they actually have a hospice that has 3 floors to it. He takes you onto the second floor and leads you into a room. The room is a rather spacious area, but only has one medical bed. There seems to be the modern day equivalent of medical equipment here, but the area of the room is not kept up very cleansed because the area itself is dilapidated. Silver magic can only restore things so much to their original point till they start to fall apart. So, in this hospice, when you enter, you see that there is something laying in the bed. Raynor walks over and reveals by pulling over the medical curtain to show you the medical bed, and reveals that there is a hybrid man laying in that bed. The man seems to be in some sort of dazed out seems to be dazed out and is not responsive currently as you guys walk in. Raynor looks over at Cyric and goes, "We found this monster crossing around Market District not some time ago. Some Quite some time ago, and we've been able to subdue it. seems to be some sort of humanoid creature. We don't know its origins. It's it's hard to tell. Their temperament was to resist, but that could also be in like preservation of their life. We've kept it in the hospice, but it hasn't been responsive since we've kept it in captivity. We've kept several of our silver monks at the area, but the creature has never stirred from its movement after we placed it in an original sleep. The heartbeats are faint. We've noted that the anatomy of the creature seems to mimic humans, except several of the organs are enlarged to fit the massive body, and in fact, there are two hearts to this creature. Well, Grandmaster Deimos has already decreed that once this creature is woken up, we'll decide if it's sentient or not, to be weighed accountable for its abominational presence. And if not, and it's not sentient enough, it'll be just discarded as a simple blemish to Spiral City. If it can atone for its if it can atone for its apparent and abomin and its abhorrent appearance, and join Silver in order to have its form revert to what form we can provide it to, then we'll consider it non-hostile. Nope. Cyric listens, and as you see the sweat go down Cyric's brow, it reads, "Dumb ways to die." Dumb ways. He covers the curtain, hiding away the hybrid man, and looks at Cyric. So that is just a little what we do here at Spire. We help remove and/or contain such blemishes. It's not about being normal, Rhinor explains, but we don't know the nature of these animas, creatures that come from the anima realm. We don't know if this thing comes from there anyway. We don't know anything about this thing. But it's better to be contained here within our chapel in Solaris than running around the market district, killing, eating. Who knows? Not you were in Wireless's lab. You were in Novus's lab. Yeah. When you guys went to Novus's lab, there was a Animas weapon facility that you've read. So this is the second time you heard the word Animas. Novus? Who's Novus? Raynor looks at you confused, but gives you a solid nod. We will conduct a fair investigation as soon as the creature gains consciousness. We've had the creature for up to 3 weeks so far. We do not know what's wrong with it. Sorry, do you want to study silver? Okay, well, thankfully I have some time free. Let's take a quick look at your skill currently, silver. He takes a quick look up and down you. Hmm, you're pretty well trained for somebody you never had a formal training before. Huh. Well, you must be a natural talented. Go ahead and show me what you can do. Sure. You transform into your crowned angel, punishing your body, pushing it to the limit that you can. Your whole body is encapsulated in silver, and you stand tall. Whoa, Raynor speaks. Looks like you can enhance yourself already. That's a that is a rare feat in even the most trained professions. Usually, you have to be an expert before you unlock such a form. The fact that you've reached this level of expertise on your own is a surprising factor. So tell me, he looks really concerned. Has something traumatic happened to you? Yeah, well, sometimes users that experience traumatic issues and deal with traumatic issues tend to have an easier time to awaken to the silver. Huh? I really have to change the type of language I used for that. When I met Celestials back in the very early session, I meant that they were more like space star folk, star people. So Cyric is a star person, as far as he's aware. He's not a celestial because celestials in this role play are gods. You are a star person, sort of someone who's come from space. Your origins are from, yes, star being, yes. You come from space. However, you don't know or remember that portion of your heritage, as it is locked away from your memory. All you can recall is when you began your life on this plane. The only time that you became more aware of being a star being was not star bound, star being was when you were getting closer to learning about your anima power, Astronova, and, and when you got the final reveal is when after great distance was used on you and you met Night for the first time. Night revealed to you that he too, he's not a celestial, he's a star being. He is also a star being himself. So star beings tend to float and hover near each other, but they also tend not to be on the physical plane. They tend to be in space. What if like to just it's just like anima users. They tend to hover. They tend to attract each other. Yes. That's still an effect, and depending on how tuned the ability is, because it's just an innate thing for Cynric. But if he were to focus on training it, he could learn how to track specific people down. But yes, you are a starter group. Huh. Well, I don't know much else I can teach you, honestly. You've mastered one of the hardest techniques that we can offer here. Well, we don't have anima users here in the silver. We again, find them as abhorrence to the whole scheme of Spiral City. Yeah, they're considered this. You found a super purist sect. They wholeheartedly believe that mankind should not have any interference past magic. Well, you don't know them till you start living with them. We can well, if you're looking for a strong technique, I can teach you what I found to be one of my signature, like when I'm looking to become my magnum opus. He Raynor teaches you a possible concept of creating floating armor that hovers above you in silver magic that could act and have permanent taunt on it, so people would target it instead of you. And that construct that hovers over Cyric and Silver would have Cyric stats, so it'd be just as beefy as Cyric. I'm sorry. Correct. But you can create. Well, that's what I'm saying. Rhinor is just. This is just something Rhinor is going to be as a piece that NPC. When he becomes an expert, he is going to have that ability. But he's telling you as a concept idea that you can try to learn. Otherwise, he can teach you. He can only get you to train you up to become a, a journeyman, and then when you become a initiate, intermediate, no, novice, initiate, journeyman, expert. No, I'm missing one. Skills and proficiencies. Apprentice. So he can train you to apprentice and journeyman easily. It's just when you make each step, you have to have a sort of focus of what you're looking to do in the silver. Novice is just your ability to use silver. Initiate is your specification, what you're looking to pull out of the silver. When you become an apprentice, you'll gain another flat bonus to silver, whereas you'll make it easier for you to cast it, and make it easier for you to cast stronger spells. When you become a journeyman in silver, that's when another specific bonus happens. Either you can increase the silver champion form, or you can get something different, like what this guy suggested. You see what I'm saying? So, yep. He reveals to you in his hand a pair of bullets. There are three of them in different caliber. He closes his hand and then reveals them again to show the bullets have coated silver. I can teach you to enhance a weapon in silver. I'm gonna give you a second to remind you that this is humans who can't see animas. Yeah. Have you ever? I was just gonna ask him. Okay. Yeah. No. These are just the guys who really don't want anything but mankind, the best. What they think is the best for mankind. They don't like anima users. They don't like people who use relics and artifacts. They don't like anybody but humans who use magic. Yep. If you were to take silver enhancement as your journeyman feat, you would learn how to cast silver magic onto relics as well, not only weapons. And your manipulation on the silver weapon, if it isn't a relic, is stronger. But if it's on a relic, then it's just its base value. You could, yes. You may also enhance the silver champion form. removing the AP loss when you get out of the form. Okay. Well, let's begin your training then. We'll need to get you the first steps into that area first. So, novice needs 4 points. To initiate, you need 6. Okay. So, while you train, learning silver magic, you spend the week doing this with Reinor. Because you have a teacher, well, first you're learning silver magic, so it's 1 point. You get another point because you have a teacher specific training you. Then you get a times 2 multiplier because you are in a church dedicated to the silver for this training purposes. So you get 4 experience points. It's not high. You're just away from getting to what's it called? Apprentice. You're very close. No, being the star being gave you the better half of affinity to unlocking even stronger feats in silver than most people can possibly imagine. Okay, so you got your silver training done. Marking that down. And before we end scene with you, do you have any last questions for Raynor? Ah, you're entering the tournament, huh? Hmm. And how public will it be? The Duke? Yeah, sure. You show Raynor the tournament letter, and he reads it over. Ah, an invitation to the Duke from the Baron of Marketplace himself. Sounds like there'll be a lot of people in attendance then. I'm going to give my word that you should be allowed to use your silver magic in the tournament. It'll be a good since the tournament should be a good demonstration of our silver strength. Plus, you'll be able to defeat those anima users much easier. Well, you're getting trained though. Well, it happens to the best of us. They did say that they were going to interview the creature when it became sentient and to see if it was worthy of living or not. So at least they give them a chance, if not a very jaded chance. He can't see your anima. Yeah, non-anima users can't see animas. Even if they are skilled in silver magic, that doesn't mean they have the ability to see anima. Now, if someone had blood magic, maybe they might be able to see your anima power, but that's a different story, Mr. Blood Magic over there. Oh yeah, they're not aware of the magicite and how they can be seen. Atta boy, now you're following in Lance's footsteps. Hey, Kalis, it's Falcone's time. So we're gonna take our camera towards East Bay. Yeah, no, no, no. Well, I mean, it's not. He's not semi-wrong, but you found that the stereotype of people get jumped all the time in East Bay kind of falls in mute if you look like you're a demon and you walk around with priest outfit. Like everyone's just like confused, bewildered, yell at you from afar. But as soon as you get closer, or as I like to call it, hold on, you summon, and I quote, hold on, double-barreled attitude adjuster. But the problem is that they're too far away from you every time you pull it out, because again, they drive away, hurling insults at you instead. And for the most part, the only people who have seemed to tolerate you have been storekeepers. Apparently, money is able to speak a louder word, and you're going to spend 150 gold pieces being here, just in terms of buying food for Falcone to eat. You're a demon, yes, but you still have hunger unless you're going to start murder. I was going to say, unless you wanted to start murdering people and lose your. Well, you're going to lose your humanity faster. If you lose enough humanity, you don't play your character anymore. Yes, yes, because at that point you're just not even a person, a character. You're literally a demon. That's it. Not to say it wouldn't make you powerful though if you ate a bunch of people. So you'd lose your humanity. You'd be getting stronger. I only gave you the safest option because I wanted you to keep using Falcone. Do you want to eat some people? Okay. So, well, you're actually right. Falcone, finding your time that you've been living in the small hole in this building wall construction area, you made it pretty fancy for yourself. Bed, door, area to eat and cook. You find that it hasn't been as bad as people have made it to seem. And that, again, being in East Bay, people tend to leave you alone. Being near the Bay Area water has been a kind of like a cleanser to your soul, what little you can feel of it. And you spend some time. You spent most of your time traveling around, looking and finding different areas in East Bay. As you take your chance to get up out of bed, this what day is it for you? Tuesday's already taken. Thursday it is. You wake up on Thursday. Nothing seems out of the ordinary for you. You get out of bed. You have a working bathroom that you've made for yourself. It's been very easy. You find that your demonic heritage helps you with a lot of handiwork and makes you very less tired. In fact, As you mentioned and asked me earlier, why do I need to still eat? You do notice that your appetite's either waning or you need something with more substance, and that you don't really need as much sleep to keep you going. You can sleep, you're sleeping less and less, but getting more out of it. And plus, your new physique is something that Falcone's been getting much more adjusted to with your ability to adjust one of your stats to a D12 using cursed dice. On this fine Thursday, as Falcone is, I don't know, what would Falcone be doing in terms of looking for trouble? So you want to go back to West Travail? Sure. You begin to gather what little supplies you actually need to get yourself back to Travail. You gather just a little food and whatnot. You make your way back out into the street, and as you turned into the street, you'd notice there's a man standing who wasn't there to begin with. He's wearing a suit and smiles at you apathetically. I said that there's a man standing at the street now. He stares at Falcone apathetically with a grin on his face, plastered on it. There's a large tattoo that goes down from his right eye that's scarred. And he looks with like I said, apathetic stare at Falcone. He wears a black suit, but there's nothing noteworthy of it. He has his hands inside of it, with his thumbs obnoxiously pointing out. He has a large belt buckle that says, "Bite me." There's clearly a tattoo that's showing from his shirt, like his chest area, but you can't see more of it. It seems to be a blue something. It's like a tail or something. He's much closer than you would think. He's not on the other side of the street. He's standing on the same side as your street. He's on the sidewalk of your street, and you look to see him blocking your exit, sort of deal. He doesn't seem to want to fight, but he is standing there. Are you Falcone? The man speaks up. I ain't a, I ain't a cop. I heard that you've been causing a little bit of a scene in the area. Yeah, that's been scaring some of the folk nearby. The man, the man looks you up and down and looks back at you seriously. Yeah, just your hair. That's the problem. So, I've been told to keep a distance from you. Apparently, you bite two of my boys. You, I meant you attack them. No, you killed one of the people. The man looks over at the stain. Uh-huh. He looks back a little bit less He looks back a little less confident at you. Look, I'm just here to make sure to determine what kind of threat you are to me, my gang and my boss. The Deep Sharks. He shows off the full tattoo on his chest. Money. No, we're not about the money. It's always been about the Mets. Deep sharks are like the yeah, they're like loan sharks. They're like mafiosos. Well, yeah, focuses on money, quote unquote, but like money laundering, money extortion, money robberies, that kind of deal. But like the mob. They think of the deep sharks like mobs. The hell's a cardinal? Let me allow me to introduce myself, since it doesn't seem to be that you're a threat right now. My name's Hammerhead. I'm a lieutenant of the Deep Sharks, and I was sent here to speak with you to see if you're going to be a threat to anybody in the area. Well, what's that supposed to mean? I don't know what you consider fun. He takes like a cautionary step back. Not if I don't need to. Not everyone can just walk in and meet the boss and things. Do us some favors, like a typical JRPG. You still, you'll have to do one really, really tough, stupid thing, and that'd be it. No, it's more like you'd have to help them take over a part of Travail. We always wanted to either move to Travail or move to West. No, but they can't conquer. They would not be able to conquer something that far. They want to do something like Travail because it's closer. Or, or at the very least, they try to take over the Upper East Bay and make more territory for themselves up there. But you would need to do something like that for them, like help them push into those places, because the people there just won't not lay down and not let that happen. And you know what it means? Hmm? So you're gonna agree to help with a quote unquote territory expanding? All right. So then you're cool. You're he takes a deep sigh. Great. I mean, look, listen. I have an animo and everything, but yeah, I do. What the hell's an arrow? No, I I'm not following, but if you're gonna be cool with the gang and you're actually interested in doing work, then I'm the perfect guy for to be meeting you. I can arrange you to help. Hmm? Yeah. So if you come with me on some future date, I'll rally the boys. We'll get a big enough squad, roll in, take over neighborhood by neighborhood, and fight whoever we gotta. Big chances are we'll come across a few anima users because when you open a couple of buildings, there might be one or two. Yeah. They tend to resist or join. There's not in between. When they fake surrender, that means we just have to shoot them in the head before they use their power. Some He looks up and down at you again. Something tells me you're beyond war crime problems. Rolls his eyes. Good luck getting a cab. He walks off. Okay, so you're returning to how are you gonna return to the church? You want to spend all that AP. You want to be that you want to be that visible. That too, and you'd be spending a lot of AP before you'd even make it. Roll a 1d100. A man pulls up to you as you flag him down. As you pull up to the car and open the door, the man then pulls off without you, peels away. You might think it's something to do with your demonic heritage as you try to call another cab down. Roll another 1d100. Another cab rolls down. You notice that there isn't anyone in the driver's seat. Suspiciously, though, you open the door and sit in the car anyway. When you sit down, you notice that there's still the back seat with the sneeze guard, breathe guard kind of thing, so it keeps the cab divided in one spot and the other. You then see a pair of curious eyes look over. Ah, where do you want to go? Sure. While you look at this thing, being close enough to it with your eyes, there's not a heartbeat in that thing. So, to the Falcone Church? I know what that is. Actually, we used to have a couple of sermons in there. We used to fuck with the old guy who used to own it. He pulls, starts driving right through several different cars. Ah, you can't afford my number. Well, that's Kabuki theater, so I can't take. He can't take it. But yeah, he'd take 3 hours to get you to the church, but you would arrive. How much do you pay? How much do you pay your cab driver? Faster than most and without a complaint. Oh no. No, well. Hold on, just give me a second. I just have to update my notes. Okay, you hand the driver 5,000 gold. As you do, he looks down at it and pops out of existence. Mysteriously, you're also still down 5,000 gold. Yes, you're at the church, but like I said, you're surprisingly so the cab driver blew up out of nowhere, but you're also still down the 5,000. Falcone, as you walk away, another pygmy walks up into the cab and takes it and drives away as if nothing happened. You make your way into the church. The church on Thursday is actually doing, yeah, it's the fourth week. They're actually doing the gun trading. You finally came to the church while the Cardinals are like basically doing gun sales and whatnot. And you see it's brother Timothy uh, running the gun auctions, providing relics for people to buy and different weaponry that comes with relic firearms. Currently, he's trying to sell a specific grappling hook device. It can be applied to a relic and be used to help the relic and pull in a target and impale it. As everyone notices Falcone, many of them break into a fear of your fucking appearance, and most who can stand their ground are obviously like stepping away from you, like you're like have leprosy or something. Brother Timothy looks at you nervously and goes with the white box text that appears. No, Nero has not has returned since, but you do have a missed call from. Sorry, you had it. Yeah, you had a phone call from. Give me a second. Motherfucker. You're. Here we go. You have you Salazar is expecting a call from you, Bishop of West Bay. Yeah. The what? Oh, it's no, it's currently hovering in auction. So it's like a kind of like it's like so what you see is like a marketplace style video game area where they have one item on display. You can read all its stats and what it does, its specifics, and then there's an ongoing bid. Currently, it's 20,000 gold pieces. Well, they have other items there like Gears of War inspired guns. Hold on, anime inspired weaponry, and no. They have some black market healing items, such as you can you can drug up before. No, you make your way back into the office space, but back to your office room, and as you do, you find that younger brother Victor has found himself a space in the house while you were gone. Well, Victor sits up from the chair. I wasn't expecting you to be back so soon, and yes, a charity, because I don't know where I'm going to be staying for a while. I was wondering if you had any work for me. See? Then I guess I'm just gonna. Huh? Hmm. Victor nods. Okay. Prancing pony. Okay, I'll try to find that, but All right. Well, what happened to you? You weren't really ever specific about the new look. I can barely recognize you, brother. Wait, what? Vincent, listen. I really think I really don't think that we should bring back the Falcones. I mean, you paid time in prison, and you were forced to work for the Cardinals to pay off your sentence because of your criminal ties. You can get away from all of it now. You're strong. Is it? I don't think that's how it works. Victor sighs. Look, I'm concerned for you as my brother. I know we haven't seen each other in many years, and I've held a lot of. Hey, I'm trying to have a heart to heart with you, dickhead. He stands up. Or did you lose your heart, he walks out, when you got that new form of yours? You hear a voice inside you. Yes. That was not Hell's Wrath. Yes. No, no, the voice that you heard was just agreeing with you. Yes. That's the thing. You recognize that that voice isn't Hell's Wrath. Falcone experiences dementia. Da, 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 da. There is no response anymore. Nothing else is talking to you. All right, so you make the phone call. Hello, this is Bishop Salazar. Falcone, what in the hell are you doing at Travail? I'm asking, what are you doing with Travail? Because I've been having several reports of you out excursions in several different districts that have nothing to do with our interests, including. No, I'm not talking. He's not referring to East Bay. He's referring to when you went to Novus's labs, when you went to. Shit, where the hell else way did you go then? Because you haven't. So the only real thing then is that Nero's reported that he's been out and about on your behalf, reporting about the Novus district, reporting about the demons that you hunted in the bridge between Caribia. Yeah, and Nero said that he walked out because you're literally turning into a demon. He said he left because he said he was going to, and he still plans to get a squad ready to kill you. We haven't seen Nero I haven't seen Nero in over a week. So listen, we we need you to use your connections with City Hall. If you want it to get clean with the Cardinals, we want you to use your influence in Squad Zero to influence City Hall to allow the regulation and the deregulation of a specific ingredient. It's primarily used in a lot of different narcotics, and the deregulation of it would allow to sell it more in travail through the Cardinals. You are, but now that we're reassessing your ability to handle things in the Cardinals, we need you to show faith again. I don't know. Is that what you want to say? Good. We'll be in conversation with you. And Falcone, please stop scaring your underlings. All they're going to do is report to me that they want to leave. Something as akin to living with the devil. That doesn't spell well for a church to be alone. We don't have a Jesus Christ. I don't know what that is, but as the GM, I do, but as the character, I don't. And what we can. Okay, well, this sounds like what we were going to have to do then is keep you in East Bay. You'll sort whatever business out, and you can carve whatever. We can carve something for the Cardinals for us, and you can bring back proof that you need help on a certain endeavor. We might be able to provide it. Well, bring back results. Salazar hangs up. Lance's ears perk up. All right. Speaking of Lance, we're moving on to Lance. No, you guys, you've been here at the fourth week for the entire time. So as you've been staying, as you've been staying here, Alistair and Bunny have been both working on paperwork. Huh? Oh, sorry, not Bunny. Sorry, Alistair and Juniper have both been working on paperwork, handling most of the Squad Zero's reports about the silver and making sure that everyone is well kept up to date what's going on with the primordial artifacts, what happened to the aftermath of it, and you know who showed up, the men in suits. Juniper looks over at Lance. Lance, we would have a lot more help if you. Juniper blinks a bit. You know what? I could use a water. Don't get lost. Yanagata's looking over some paperwork, but looks up from it. I have some time. He puts out a cigarette. What is it, Lance? I'm kinda glued to the chair, Lance. What do you need? Lance, fine. He stands up. He cracks his back. Ugh. What is it, Lance? He walks over to the elevator with you. What do you mean? People like to drink water, Lance. He steps in. Lance, there. I'll ask. I'll ask the quartermaster downstairs to get us one. Lance, where are you getting? Where are you going at this? Lance, he holds the bridge of his fucking face. Lance, did you want to go in the isolation chamber again? Uh, Lance, just don't hurt yourself. He opens. Twink. It opens up. I have paper. You're, Juniper's gonna have to do extra work just for you. No, Lance, it's not about the paperwork. What I'm saying is that I have paperwork to catch up on, and if I can't do it watching you, then Juniper's gonna have to do it for me. What's the color of the room? How does it work? There's something that has to activate. Nope. Each corner of the room activates like a panel. It flips and then dilates a laser that goes across each of the corners of the room. So the entire room has this bridge of laser that comes across it. You can see it as a red line that jumps across each of the purple platformed mirrors in each corner of the room. Then the mist comes down from the top of the room. When the mist passes the invisible space between the red barrier, the red circle being created by the corners of the room, the mist then turns purple. It is first colorless, like a mist of air. Then it turns purple when passing. Style change. You walk into the isolation chamber and the door closes. It's much colder than you would expect. Lance, you step into the center of the room and feel your anima disappear. It's like sheds away from you, water pouring on top of you that dissipates and removes all presence of your anima energy. It completely isolates you. You gain fatal status. All your stats are 1. You cannot access your anima power. It is immense. It is almost breathless while you're in here. This time, though, instead of falling to the ground, you're actually holding your ground and standing pretty well. Every breath you take is another sharp inhale pain that stabs your upper chest and your lower back. You've learned that deep, fast breathing helps it out. While you are practicing this breathing technique to reduce the pain that you feel in this field, this is when you begin to become one with the training that you've become mastery towards with the ley line path. You understand the magicite that's pouring on you has been manipulated. You understand that its natural form is to always have energy, that even in its lack of presence of it, that one can find a way to bring back its original form. You find that you can slowly breaking through this invisible barrier that's been preventing you from using your anima power. Visually, the purple mist stops hitting Lance and starts to pile up and crumble around him. And he starts to get this invisible glow, not invisible glow, this bioluminescent color across his body. It is only an intensive and light intensity. It has no distinctive color, but it highlights Lance's entire body. So that way, the mist falling on him does not even touch him anymore. Rather, it's now magicite when the mist hits him, reversing whatever effect has been happening in the area. Lance, while spending time in the isolation chamber, you've learned how to manipulate areas of which can remove anima powers. You can retain your anima powers in many situations now. Yeah, you would not be able. Your range is only to self anyway. You summon the gauntlet of God's Rockabye, and you can see you can still use it in the containment field. Much like you, the gauntlet is also highlighted in light intensity, so it's brighter than it normally is. While you retain your AP, you also drop HP. And that'll be attack on effect for your journeyman of leyline style. Yes. Steiner turns around, looks in. What? Whoa! What the? He opens the door. Lance, are you okay? Also, the effects of losing your anima dispersed. You regained all your stats, of course. How? What? What? No, but Lance, is it an anima power? Because if it is, then we have to make sure other people can't do it. Oh, thank God. You're gonna die before you teach anyone anyway. Yep. He would just walk away and leave you. Lance, you gained an addition to your journeyman. Finally, we go to Edmund. Are you here, Edmund? Okay, goodbye. That's fair. So, Edmund, it's your fourth week. You finish your police training. You've been assigned your first squad member, and this will be the first day you get a chance to meet them. I gotta get a token for them, but what's it called? Green tea is still bumming in the solitary stallion. Last time we left him, he went back to his place. That was after the police training. So yeah, this what day is it for you? We have Thursday and Tuesday and Friday. No, no, those are the days taken. Wednesday is the middle of the week. No one likes it. Okay, so Edmund, you wake up on a Wednesday morning. On the fourth week, you find that the sauntering stallion's hole has been repaired. Yes, it has also been that you've been losing 2 hours of sleep per night. Mm-hmm. It seems to be working sometimes because you can see the building shake a bit to your responses. Green tea is sitting there eating tea, like as if it was cereal. He goes, "Morning, admin. You don't think too well." Shh! Don't say it so loud. The literal bar stool next to green tea starts to shake on its own, and it stops. What does Edmund want to do this week? Do 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 do. You get into a phone call. Uh-huh. Sure. You extend the phone line. That's the landline. Oh yeah, he has a cell phone. Right, right, right. You go outside onto the sauntering stallion, out and out from the sauntering stallion, and you call Captain Delta. This is Captain Delta speaking. What can I do you for? Edmund Miles. Yes, one Anatar, supposedly the cause of all this. Huh? According to the report, each of those family members had a death curse that was resemblance whenever they died, it was activated. Unfortunately, we don't have any sort of anima containment item like such. If we did, we would be using it for our own law enforcement. Have you happened to met Devon yet? You sure? I sent Devon out to go meet you. He's the new squad member for Squad Delta. Or your new squad, sorry. As he mentions the man's name, you hear, "Hey, are you Miles? Edmund Miles?" No, he's behind you. You do that. He hangs up. You'll see five, yeah, 5'11", black man, red dreads. He looks down at you, Edmund. So you're Edmund Miles. Ugh, I got teamed up with you. You ain't no rich kid, so where the hell you come from? Oh, no shit. Gridiron. I come from Gridiron as well. Yeah. I was born and raised in what was it? The Cataclysm District. Remember that large hole where the upper Dispire is? Yeah. Devon. No, Devon Jones. Rubber Batman. So, apparently you turned a lot of heads then. Because Upper Brass was telling me that you were some sort of prodigy anima user. An activist. Is it true? I said Upper Brass talked highly of you. They said that you were some sort of freedom fighter for anima users. Is that true? The window covers shutter as if to reply back. Devon looks really creeped out. Did the house just react to you? Okay, so is there free drinks for all we're working on squad? And you said the building's cursed, man. Look, I don't have a place to go. I don't want to live in a cursed house, though. There's that door over there. How the hell did that get there? The window shatters from the second floor. From not Edmund, from Anatar's old room. It shatters onto the floor. Devon sighs deeply. All right, I guess I can't put the ring on and I don't listen to the creepy voices, but am I living here? No, you were right. There are five rooms because there's three on the left and two on the right. You both walk in, but you don't see green tea on the first floor. You don't hear him reply. Yeah, Devon looks weirded out. Like, are you okay? Devon pulls out his own piece. All right. He pulls back the hammer on the clock. We stay strapped. You make your way down the hall, up the stairs, and you see that your room's door is open. He follows, Devon follows Edmund, and they go side to side of the doorway, no, side to side before they go inside. And Edmund leads in, and you see when you look into your room, Edmund, that Green Tea summons up a guitar and starts trying to beat the gun safe. Let him out! Devon and you tackle Green Tea to get him away from the safe. After a little bit of fighting and struggling, Green Tea eventually stops. Okay, okay, fine. I stop. I'm good. I'm good. It's just he's been yelling all day to get out. He says put the ice in the dryer, the fryer. The fryer's so thirsty. I have to do it. Edmund, no, you've never heard a beg for water. They're so thirsty. He tears up. Green Tea's tearing up. No, man, I'm not gonna bounce around districts again. I'm gonna stick here, but I'm gonna go outside. My place to stay, man. Look, I don't want to leave. You promise? It's gonna take a hell of a shit time to get me to Travail anyway. You gonna buy me a cab? 300 pieces. And radical. All right, now I'm gonna get out of your hair. I can't sleep, man. Oh, hey, before I go, Edmund, I wanted to show you something. He shows a red letter. It was a little late for me. Not only that, but if I win, I get to become the headliner for the tournament. Finally become a good professional guitar player. Uh, I'll learn. Don't worry. Me and my anima jukebox hero, we'll figure it out. The foundation shakes. A pygmy gets shaken out from the rooftop. Ah! Son of a bitch! He runs off. Ah. He fucking murder you for one. Point taken as the building collapses. But the building continues to throw a tantrum. No, Devon's like holding his right ear. Am I gonna really hear this all day? Ah, I should have just stayed in fucking prison. Yeah, I'm not wanted in Travail. I didn't do such nice things in Travail. That's why I was convicted in Gridiron. I mean, if you want to, I don't really say I regret it. Just the fact that I was caught. Not that I repeat offend. It's just you trip on a floorboard that pushed itself up on purpose. You shoot several times into the building that leave no visible effort. Oh, you pull out the gun, but the building just laughs and shakes at you. When you take the staircase down to the first floor, they smooth on you on purpose. It's slide instead of like stairs. You accelerate faster than you expected and slide out the front door, right into incoming traffic. No, you stop a few feet outside the front of the door, and the building itself closes the door on you on purpose. You also remember you don't have your keys. Yeah. You call the Travail Police Department. We're currently handling with a Lance. We're currently handling. Hold on. We're currently handling a Lance level issue. Please leave your message, and a small issue list. Your name, your number, and the description of your problem, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Yeah, but you also get patched in at times when, depending on how busy he gets. But you do have a direct line to him, which he comes picks up. Well, yada yada. You would basically be a captain because you're only your own squad. Say it again, Danny. He's a lieutenant detective. What can I do you for, Edmund? Well, no, no, no. Tell me the bad news first. Shit on my plate. We have a detention field that you can use, but we only have two of them, and we can't afford to run them constantly. Can you find a way to destroy it? I mean, relic smiths might be able to. Then my only other suggestion would be to go call the Cardinals. I understand they handle demon-related issues. But I can't help you any further, Edmund. Lance, get down from the chair. Lance, no. I had to go. I need to corral Lance again. Lance screams, "Ah! Oh, stop crying! I only grazed you." Edmund hangs up. And we'll just let you go ahead and call Falcone, at least the church, to see if you get a call with Falcone. Edmund, roll me a 1d100. It is Friday. It is Wednesday. When you call, surprisingly, Falcone, you find that there is just you wandering around, as everyone else is preparing for Thursday, which was the day you chose. Oh, right, you came back Thursday, right? So you wouldn't be there, yeah. So, um, you call Wednesday. That's when they're usually planning things. So, you managed to barely get in touch with Brother Timothy. You see white boxes appear in front of you, reading the text box. What he says: "Hi, this is Brother Timothy. Please don't be alarmed. This is just how I speak. How can I help you? What can I help you for? My. Well, actually, when you mentioned the green, there's like a triple epilepsis. I don't handle the color religion stuff. Well, what can I do you for? What help do you need with? I might have met him once or twice. Might have met him once or twice. What about him? Mm-hmm. It sounds like you might be needing a service of the Cardinals, ghost distraction. I can get you in touch with Nero and the demon hunting squad. So I don't know what to offer you. We don't have the means to contain something that powerful. I can give Falcone the note and see what he can do about it. Nero's no longer part of this church branch. Nero left because Falcone turned into a literal demon. He turned into a literal demon. Falcone turned into a demon, Nero saw him, and then left because he couldn't stand looking at Falcone anymore. Swore he was going to come back and kill him. I don't know what you mean by calcium knight, but by the bone skeleton. No, no, neither. He was a regular person. He just pale skin and red eyes, sharp ears. You know what we say about people with sharp ears. So, Doot. That's why Nero left the church, this branch. I also have gotten a call recently from Salazar, but I can't explain any of that to you. Yeah, I gotta go. Brother Timothy hangs up. All right, October. Oktoberfest. First week of October. Who's excited? All right, so the, everyone looks at Falcone. Come on, do it. Turn into the Hell Rat Beast. Okay, this is the last week before the tournament, October 1st. What we what we're gonna start with is Falcone. You're back at the church, Falcone. What would you like to do for this week? Other than you had your business, this is short. You had your business sorted out already, yeah. This is the what date? Early bird, huh? Monday. And what would you like to do? Okay, okay. So we're gonna travel back to East Bay. The well, the thing is, your tournament's coming up next week. That'd be 8 hours. Do you want to practice blood magic? Do you want to practice using your anima power? What would you like to do? talk to NPCs. Well, that's just what I'm saying, because when you go to East Bay, then you're just going to travel back to the tournament and not be in East Bay. So why even bother go to East Bay? You're not going to have time to do anything in East Bay. Sure. You spend the whole week studying blood magic. You gain an experience point in the skill for blood magic. Edmund, how do you like to start your week? What day? Sure. Still, the sauntering stallion screams at you, the different halls, the doors slamming on themselves on purpose periodically in the middle of the night. Even locked doors just open themselves and slam on purpose. I mean, there's like you feel like an energy urging you to let them out. Yes. Okay. He manages to get in contact with Captain Delta. This is Captain Delta speaking. Great. Some sort of ghost problem, right? Anatar, right? So, I mean, Edmund, you do know that there were people who were powerful enough to contain the primordial artifacts. You could always ask them, or try to ask Captain Delta about them. Well, if it's so dangerous, then yeah, I can call the spiral police. They can bring a detainment squad over. They're gonna send the sad. They're gonna send the sad squad sad because the anagram reads spiral animus detainment squad sad. Once I put the call out, they should arrive within 20 to 30 minutes. They're there for this. They're only there to detain the anima, not you. They need. I'm telling you as Captain Delta that they're not there for you. They're this. The squad SAT is only detaining animas that cannot be retained, that cannot control their powers. So they're deploying the squad in order to detain the anima that they think that cannot control itself. And as long as you don't act like you're the one that they're looking for, then they won't detain you because they aren't exactly working for the Spiral Council. Not everyone's aware of what you're going through in terms of legal fights. Be sure, I know, but the reality is that they're probably going to be doing their job. Squad Captain Delta hangs up the call. Well, now he's not captain. He's lieutenant now because he's yeah, Lieutenant Delta. Update that. Yeah, LT. As promised, it doesn't even take long. Hold on a second. I'm looking for the right token. Where are you? He's resisting. Shoot him in the leg. We don't pay for ammo. You hear a knocking out the door. I don't know what your squad's name is. Devon would be in sitting in the main area eating, trying to keep busy, but he would like pull a headphone out of his ear and look over at the door that's been knocked on. Huh? Someone at the door? What's going on? Oh, this is the. Mhm. In front of you is the man that you've met before. He has the walking cane. He has the very fine suit. When they said that the Sauntering Stallion needed help from Squad Sad, I was deployed almost immediately. Versace. He holds his hand up. Wait, I can sense anima energy leaking out of the building. Devon looks over. Like, Devon's leaning over at the entrance of the Sauntering Stallion, eating from a bowl of cereal. He looks at Edmund. He looks back at the blind guy. How can you see anything? I thought you're blind. Yeah, no kidding. My anima, I'm just blind. I do appreciate it, but let me get down to business. As he tries to make his way through both of you, Devon steps out the way and lets him in as he walks into the building, and He stops in the middle of the bar and takes a looks left, looks right, but then looks directly up and then narrows his vision to where Annatar's, no, not Annatar's, Edmund's bedroom is. He points up with his fingertip and points at the spot that would be the closest on the first floor to Edmund's room. It's there, isn't it? It's violent. I mean, beyond negotiable, it seems. Do you want me to kill it? He pulls out a containment unit from his chest pocket. It's first only two like handles, but then he squeezes it and creates an attache case that's see-through. The metal portions are only visible to the verticals of each corner. He opens the attached case to make it open and reveals that the outer layer is only a temporary failed. You see that there is gray mesh in the center and a containment field in the center of this gray styrofoam mesh-like material. It hangs like a cage in the center of a small circular device. It is half open currently. It is large enough to fit, I would say, a cube measuring 5 inches in diameter in each way. This containment seems to be specifically designed for containing artifacts and relics. It's not a person, right? Versace looks back up. Versace nods, closes. Lead me. He closes the suitcase and begins to use his walking cane to lead him. Unironically blind. He waves his hand. I don't need your help. He follows you up the stairs easily. You feel a sudden push of energy throw you off your feet. Hit the far wall like the man that you are, taking 4 damage. Pass your defense. Versace walks up to the door and the same pressure is applied. He gets pushed back, taking 2 damage instead. Ugh, that that's an intense aura over there. That's gotten a lot more angrier. It seems like whatever the hell the anima user was is trying to manipulate the the safe that it's currently in. As you can see, the safe is fighting to stay on the ground. It's trying to hover and trying to move. You wouldn't happen to have anything to distract it while I get closer, do you? Something like a ranged attack would help. Edmund's got a Glock in his Rari. No? Just go ahead and roll me a dexterity plus a 3D 3D6, yeah. Because it is just a pistol. Wow. Nice 10. Three. No, no, just one roll at a time. Well, we're gonna count one hit as the both the bullets. Yeah, so it's just in total 9 damage. But the damage is not the point. Point being, it was just you hit you hit the safe. Your bullets are not going to be strong enough to pierce the safe anyway. As you shoot the safe, the building shakes and shudders. Versace makes his way into the room, taking advantage while you distracted the safe to close in closer. He pulls up his walking cane and pulls out a hidden saber inside the sheath of the walking cane and cuts at the air before the safe can throw another attack. Edmund, keep up! Thankfully, a 12 is enough to hit because it is just a safe, not too hard to hit. You land another series of 2 bullets into the surface of the build of the yeah into the surface of the safe. Ting ting, another set of noises as you roll a dexterity check to try to dodge the incoming attack. You can see a wave of anima energy pulse from the safe. You can use junction power if you like. Okay, so roll for a dexterity check. You get slammed into the wall again, taking 10 force damage. Yep. I'm reducing it down to 5. Wait, how much HP do you have? The initial hit was 3. 4? Exact. What's the current value it says? Maybe because you calculated having your HP halved due to the challenge. The lowest dice is 4. Yeah, but you didn't have a 24. But I think from looking at your stats, you probably had it because you had it halved. You probably had it halved. So your dice was probably put from an 8 to a 4. So because you had an 8, that means you have 16 HP in total. No, you're fine. So you have 16 HP. You took 4. That's down to 12. Then you took another 4 instead of taking the damage I said earlier. So that's 8. And a turd do be mad. As you get hit by the barrage and you see into the room, you see Versace has gotten much closer to the safe and draws his hidden saber and cuts into the safe, rolling for attack. Uh, 1 second. Yeah, I figured. And then his saber, his hidden saber is, yeah, he cuts the safe in a clean half, cuts the sock in a clean half, except the blade stops perfectly, chipping, breaking itself upon the surface of the ring. The rest of the blade is able to cut through what remains of the safe, leaving an imperfect cut. He looks over at his katana, and the whole house stops to shake immediately, and all the air is silent. Shit. I broke my sword. And my cane. Crap. You stand up with some difficulty, but you see that the house is no longer moving, making noise, anything. It's all quiet. You see Versace standing in the room. You do make a pretty valid argument. He seems to be speaking to the air. Huh? The door suddenly closes. When you scream at the top of your lungs, the building begins to shake and shimmer again. Roll me a dexterity. We'll be using your dexterity plus your fighting style. You are a journeyman in it, so that would make you 48. Your dexterity first. Hmm. You give the door the people's elbow. By God! Breaks right through. You see Versace is getting closer to the rink. He doesn't listen to you as he's approaching it. I mean, if you're offering the kind of power you're suggesting, sure, you start to make your way closer to Versace. Uh, the entities already spent most of its reactions and decisions, so you make to him with little, because it doesn't have much power left. You make it to Versace, and you see that he's in a complete, nothing in his face is working. He is zoinks. He ain't there, Chief. What thing? Yeah, you got a chance to look at it. It looks pretty simple. You take the handle from his inner coat though, because that's where it came from. You grab onto this. You reach into his chest pocket, and I need you to roll a 1d20 to see what you grab. Whew. You reach in, and you find the same brown handle in the first try on his left upper chest pocket. How convenient! You also conveniently remember that he squeezed the handle to create the containment unit as it re-emerges from no space. Versace's still trying to make his way to the ring. Yep. You guys are about 25 feet away, very close. It got cut. Not too much, no. Roll an intelligence check as you grab with the hat. Sure. His aura. That's a 20. That's the second 20. Third 20 in a row. What the fuck, Evie? You managed to resist as you could hear Anatar speak directly through to it. Agnin, wear me! Unite us! You want this! Sorry? Agnin! You hear him yell before he stops. It falls into the containment, and he's silent. The whole house suddenly loses what you didn't realize was the color orange just seep from every surface of every portion, sinking into the ring where it's contained. The illusionary magic of the bar is gone, and the shitty establishment for what it really is has been appeared. Floorboards are unkempt, the window frames are barely working. The sauntering stallion was the fucking deadbeat horse before Anatar used his magic to make it look better. Rosashi's standing on one knee. Ugh, I had a loud fucking scream, but ugh, you contained it. Um, he takes the containment unit. Label it under Anatar. A label appears reading the word Anatar. Okay. Well, there's nothing else, is there? No other primordial artifacts you're trying to hide from me? You're still upstairs with them. Yeah. No, Versace's holding it. He's like, yeah, I have a migraine. There was a loud scream. I'm just dealing with the loud scream as all. That voice in my head screaming to put it on. It said it could make my anima powerful. Clearly. And you don't mention about my anima power to anyone. He takes out a cane, like he takes out a replacement cane from his pocket, extends it, tink. Not a word to anyone. He glares, like he stares back at you. He didn't reveal anything to you. Good. So, Squad Sad, aka the subdivision of the Men in Suits, has contained Shadowfall. You don't. You have a D4 in strength. Trust me, it didn't bother him. Cyric, it is your turn. It is the first week of October, and the tournament's coming up in the second one. You wake up. What day is it? Monday and Tuesday already. Yep. So you wake up on Wednesday morning, Cyric. You find yourself that you're in the company of other acolytes who are still struggling. In your time staying within the Solus, you've come to realize that a lot of the people who flock here are desperate to try to learn silver magic as in terms to heal someone they know personally, whether by chronic diseases for living within West East Caribbean Market District. Most of these people are trying to learn how to become silver magic users to heal their friends and families of ailments, because that's also part of what they believe to be a pure society, is to be cured of all diseases as well. Not yet, because you have to spend another week of training. Did you want to talk around before you tried? Okay. Who would you like to talk to? You do know that you do only know one member, Raynor, but you do know of another member named Jaina, and you do know of Deimos, the Grand Master. Yeah. Ooh? Yeah. He's referred to Ooh before, because Ooh is the one who sent him on this assignment to Spiral City. Ooh's, O's, same. They were the ones who sent Knight on the mission to Spiral City in order to help stop the Apocalypse Sun. Yeah, no, you can come and go from the Solaris Temple as much as you like, as long as you don't tell anyone where it is. I'm sorry. Yeah, they are interested in getting anima users to their not anima users, silver users to their side, but they're not going to keep you against your will. They will train you because you are silver, but they're not going to hold you against your will. They just don't want you to talk about where you got your silver magic, and they don't want you to publicly use it because it could get more attention than needed. But you are Raynor would give you permission to use it for the tournament. Well, you got your silver magic trained even higher. They're not going to ask of things of you unless you wanted to become more of a member in the Solaris. However, you're not obligated to stay and they won't find you hostile, and you can come back later to train more. No, he already asked. He said that Cyric was a natural at it. And you've got 4 experience last training. If you train again, you'll have enough to become an apprentice. gaining your apprentice bonus for silver magic. Do you want to train or do you want to leave? Okay. So Raynor would take you under his training once more, and you become an apprentice in silver magic. You go back to zero instead of gaining more experience points as you just level up. No, apprentice. Apprentice. It's a Legends reference, yeah. So you unlock enhanced silver magic with AP2. And that opens more options for your healing and more options for manipulations as far as what you are looking to try to do. Make small shields, make weapons enhanced. Say that again? Not yet. That's when you become journeyman. Say that one more time? No, I was telling you that when you leveled up to apprentice, you gained silver magic to spend with AP2. It's enhanced silver magic, so it heals stronger, it can heal better, it can reverse the flow of things better. You can manipulate things better with it, like making weapons or enhancing armors or relics. No, 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 no. When we get to Journeyman, you made it clear that you wanted to remove the AP drop, like the upkeep, when you go into the Awakened form. So that will be the Journeyman perk, as well as an additional bonus for the Awakened form. But you'll have to find that out when we get there. No worries. So Cyric we're done with, and last but not least, we get to Lance. What day is it? Huh? What was that? Oh, yeah. They they called it the I think we finalized it the strongest. Well, I mean, I really like Requiem of the Spiral Anima Crescendos. I mean, it's musical, or sorry, Spiral Symphony of Animas. Uh huh. Lance, I'm not gonna fight you. Lance! Alistair, you're still in the room to hear this. That's a weird request, Lance. I don't want to. Okay, so Squad Zero is gonna go on patrol. Juniper, Juniper, Lance, and Alistair get into the patrol wagon and begin to patrol across Travail. Oh, Lance, you also get paid 1,000 gold pieces. Alistair, you get 1,000 gold pieces. Yep, it's October, the first month. Sauntering Stallions behind and needs to pay 2 months in rent. 5,000 for each, yeah. And I'm assuming you're splitting 5,000 between both your characters. Okay. 2 months behind in rent. What? You did pay the month? Okay, my bad. So then your rent's due. Currently, the Sauntering Stallion, because he was covering the other halves of the front, it is 17,000. That's included, like, so 17,000 is including with the license to continue selling alcohol, license to continue selling food, and a license to continue to board. If you were to remove all that, it'd go down to 10K. Yeah, if you can't pay, they have to leave with you. Then technically you'd have to have them as tenants or family, or they can't stay. The bar and the liquor. If you lost the bar and liquor license, it brings you down to 1,500. No, 15,000. Yes, 15K. So you're gonna drop the liquor license. 3K. So it brings it down to 12. So and it's her wanted it like that, and what's it called? Grimton provided. What, my lord? Nothing. So are you dropping down to 12K? For hosting green tea, that'd be 1,000 gold pieces. No one has entered the sauntering stallion. Though 17K, just flat. That's because that's you're paying for the lease of owning the building. No one has entered the establishment to make you upkeep for money. Oh, 1750 on the handout. Oh, that's easy because you don't actually got to see all the costs. That handout didn't reveal all the costs. Most of it was being paid by Grimtongue on his own personal behalf. He owned the building before everyone else came in. And the reason why it wasn't fully detailed was specifically Anatar wasn't concerned with any of the going ons. It was more for me to use to continue to get the role play, and I was using that as the expenses for everything. Go to 12K. Okay, down to 12K. It's not. It, it's a building entirely, and it sits in the market district. Yeah, it's an expensive ass house, but its value is something that most people in that market district would kill for. The space that you have too, despite it being decrepit, could be a real quick turner, and most people in the market district could afford higher rent than 17K. That's exactly the place you live in. The lights, hey, they turned up the lights. So we're not gonna have food anymore. Like you're still allowed to have food, but you're just not allowed to store food, and in the place for like a large scale consumption for people to be dining from. Lance, you're on patrol. Roll me a 1D 100. We're gonna roll a series of three of them, but this is the first one. 820. Your patrol takes you to. I'm gonna just get a truck real quick. Your patrol takes you to Travail Park. So, what? Lance, what is wrong with you? Juniper pulls up into the front of the Travail Park. Okay, well, we're here to produce light patrol, so Lance, don't cause a scene with anybody, and let's just casually patrol around and make sure no one's doing anything crazy, okay? No weapons drawn and no fist in people's chests. You can scare you can scare them. Well, hold on. You can scare them by standing up a little bit taller, Lance. Yeah, Juniper doesn't bother to unlock it as only Alistair and Juniper get the car. No, the door's locked. No, the Juniper leans in. No, the door is locked. I left it locked. Let's leave him in there. As you hear the car door. So you finally met your match, huh? The scene cuts where we see. Hold on. The scene cuts where we see Alistair and Juniper walking away, and then suddenly they hear a loud as the car door gets ripped off. Lance, Juniper turns over. Did you just? You took off the fucking door. It falls. Edmund, no, sorry, Alistair, let's get going before I get an aneurysm. No, you stay right the hell in front of us. March in front of me. Go. Huh? What do you mean? He looks. Sorry, Juniper looks over at Lance. In front of me now, Mister. No, not no. He's looking at Lance. Sorry, Lance. Good. Keep marching forward, right where I can see you. I'm sorry. What was that, Alistair? What'd you ask me? Hit the babysit him. that that's actually not a bad idea. Lance, stay away from that tree. Lance, whatever you see, stop fucking around with it. Come on. Lance, while Squad Zero's on patrol, you find nothing of note. Everything is calm and peaceful in the park. Sure. The next spot is going to be City Hall. Roll a 1D 100. Well, that's what Lance has to figure out now, doesn't he? For ripping it. I'm gonna push him out the next turn I take. I'm gonna push him out it. You make your way to City Hall, and you see that there seems to be several large protests going on about calling out Richard Turkey for abusing his political powers in order to cause specific strife within the Spire, as many of these people seem to be Spire-centric people. They have protest signs saying that Anima user lives aren't better than ours. Human lives matter more. So Juniper looks over. It looks like they're having a protest here. Should we help break it up? Well, true. It's just it doesn't seem like the marriage should only be between two humans instead of an anima user and a human. All humans, list of non-human users slowly transpose over. Look, it's Quad Zero. No, but well, you're gaining fame. Hmm? You're not. You guys aren't out the car yet. I have a D8. She looks at the D8. This is how charismatic could be, though. She wheels her right hand back and throws it at your head. It lands on a 7. Yeah, Lance, why do you even bother? Juniper just shakes her head. Just don't put the car door inside the car. I'll take the keys with me. She takes it in with her, and don't leave anything. Don't leave anything in the car, guys. Yeah, just really wedging it in there. Like Lance, never mind. You just like jam it more, and it widens the door frame more. It's clearly deformed it to the point where the door frame's not going to fit the car door next time it gets set. Okay, well, I'll roll my charisma to talk to them, and Alistair, help me out with your charisma. Are you going to junction, Alistair? Juniper's also going to junction. 13. To get as many people to listen, yeah? 10. So, the protesters quiet down as the three of you exit the vehicle and they see and turn to face the newcomers. Everybody, we're Squad Zero. And most of the crowd begins to cheer. Hey, it's Squad Zero! Yeah, the heroes of Travail! Hey, look, that's that Lance McKinley fellow! He owes me a nickel! He owes me a nickel! So anyway, we're here. Lance McKinley. Oh shit, he broke my toe. We're here today to talk in favor of anima users. Boo! But we helped you guys. We saved the city several times. Help me out, Alistair. Lance, you mean that guy that ate a 15-foot hot dog and wrestled a door? The crowd seems to be the crowd seems to be very sympathetic at the fact that you saved their lives. So both the charisma checks pass, and they seem to be calming down. Well, We just don't want to be attacked by aggressive anima users. Can you claim that every anima user won't just suddenly use their powers and kill people? Everyone turns to face Lance. Oh, okay. Well, Lance, you're not that smart for all that, but I'll roll a d8 for that and a d12 for Chuck. Hey, Juniper has a Juniper has a celestial moment, but she needs to have it. She needs to have it 3 times in a row. So I'm just gonna mark that she got one. Yes. No, no, not you. Alistair. It has to happen 3 times game night. 6 to 9, 15, 13 and 15. With further convincing between Alistair and Juniper that Squad Zero represents the greater half of the populace of anima users, not a minor majority, the minor minority of them. Most of the audience seems to understand that maybe they should give people and anime users a different chance of like chance to prove themselves. The only staunch people who are still adamant against anime users are those that directly profit at the current situations that are going on, like the tensions between anime users and regular people. There are a small few of those people still remaining, but the large portion of the protest seems to have ended peacefully. The only ones left are those lobbying for their self interests. They don't respond to you, Lance. Be- After completing this little event, you guys gain +2 order to the district. Bring it from Dato. Lance is just walking, and then Alistair just. Because you were around Juniper? Huh? Nope. Nope. That protest was the last one because it usually was going to be 3, but then an event happened at the second spot, so you guys actually took care of it. Your patrol's done. Yeah. What soundtrack? Correct. Oh, you mean notions? Showtime is full form now, floating with legs, hands, floating hands, chained body. Still looks fine. Like looks perfectly fine now. He nods aggressively. He nods understandably. Yeah, that does sound great. Well, it's a symbiotic relationship, but yes, animas could eat. Yep, Sex Pistols. That might get a little too hot. Next time we join, we'll begin the tournament arc. The Spiral Symphony of Animas. Sorry, what happened? Victor the Sauntering Stallion? Yeah, because he was like he didn't want to answer about what how he transformed and didn't take his brother's concern. So yeah, he's like, well, if you're not gonna care, then sure, I'll get the fuck out the way. Yeah, he was going to the Sauntering Stallion. So Victor would be. Good shirts, Clint. Oh boy, a fat guy with like a really fat guy pulling on his overalls. I'm gonna have to call a lot of people in. Whole building's gonna have to stay quarantined for 3 years. No, I'm fucking around. It's considered an investment for the market district. Yet no one could have predicted that, not even you. The only hints was that the illusionary magic was powerful. The most dramatic level of catfished. Yeah, you could find someone who'd buy it much more worth its price. Well, any final comments, questions, concerns for the patrol? +1 fame. Lance hitting 20 fame. Uh, Alistair was a local celebrity. Lance hitting 20 fame has made you a noticeable local celebrity. So now more people will be more likely to notice you. and be either in favor of you because of their fame of you, or be more antagonistic because of your fame. On the next episode, hold on. You're making me count the seasons. So we're technically on season 4. I'm not. I'm not counting season 0. I'm counting season one, two, three. So then you're counting season 2, which was the plethora of events and the Nelcro district, and then season 3, which was the free month and then the apocalypse for August. For September. Well, September and October are season 4. So season 4 is. Okay, with that then, I think. Yeah, I think we're good to go. Huh? Is the whole week of the second week of October is going to be the Spiral Symphony of Animas. We're just gonna have anima fights. It will be a one-on-one contest. There will be a the first round of each fight will be consistent of the rare relics they will give you. Please don't eat the rare relic, Falcone. They are used as a specific measuring stick for each combatant. If you were to have 0 on that temporary HP, because it will provide you temporary HP, then that's considered the first round done. If you already have a source of temporary HP, and you will gain a greater source of temporary HP, then you gain the greater source of temporary HP. It does not add on or stack. You just go from the first value that you at, and it's considered the max, not the current value. So if you're at 25 temporary HP, but then you can get to 30 temporary HP, but your max is really 58 temporary HP, then you go back down to 30. But anyway, point being, the relic is meant to act like a timeout. Players who lose the temporary HP go to 0. Both players go back. Both fighters go back on their corners, and they decide if they want to continue fighting or not. And the fight can continue if if both fighters want to continue, one without the belt and one with the belt. The one with the belt has, of course, the advantage because they're still wearing a belt. And then when they lose that belt, then they lose that advantage, etc. The fight doesn't stop unless one fighter agrees to lose. So ring out doesn't count. There's a restriction on relics as you're only allowed that specific one. Um, anima created constructs are allowed. If it's something that an anima user can create using their powers, like weapons, gadgets, etc., then it is allowed. It cannot be a relic summoned item. Transformations are allowed, and even encouraged, because the crowd will love it. Do the roar! So you were saying Loon? Sorry, I thought you were making a statement. I'm sorry. Oh, that'd be interesting. Ripperoni. You know what's funny? That woman in the back, she closes her eyes as the other dude gets punched. But yeah, if there's nothing else, guys, then prepare yourselves for the tournament coming up on the next week. I might actually take the next week off just to have everything prepared, the visual assets and all. I'll let you guys know, of course, all the time. If there's nothing else, I'm gonna go ahead and head off early. Well, sorry, it's done 13 minutes, but you know what I'm saying. I usually stay a lot longer, but I will go for now. Yeah, of course. If you have any other questions, I'm. Oh yeah, I'm gonna put the audience full of the other anime users. Yeah, so we'll see Ace Hotshot somewhere. You'll see Juniper sitting in the crowd when Squad Zero members go on. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in and being part of the roleplay. I appreciate everyone being here. Kalis, Edmund, let's start. Kalis, Evie, Line, Loon. Thank you all for always being players. I always appreciate you. Thank you, audience, for being here, and I hope you guys have a great night.